Hello everybody, and welcome to part 2 of our series of tutorials on JavaFX. And today we're going to begin embarking on our quest to create a to-do list app. This app is going to be an app where users log in with the username and password, enter in things that they need to do, and then the app is going to process their to-do list items in some kind of meaningful way. We'll make sure to give the app some features that will show off some of what JavaFX can do and, teach everyone JavaFX a little better. But mainly for this tutorial, we're looking to set up the login. That's going to be the first screen the users see, so we need to get that done. And our login is going to use a database, because of course we're going to need a database filled with usernames and passwords. So with that in mind, we're going to need to get the tools that people use in order to use a database with Java. And we've elected to go with SQLite, which is a very lightweight database framework that works really well with Java. There's a really nice library where it's very easy to use SQLite with Java. So what you'll need to do in order to get this is first you'll need to install the jar for SQLite, whatever the newest one is. Here's what I Googled, SQLite JDBC jar. I believe I went here. There we go, right, and I just, whatever the latest one is what I downloaded. Probably by the time this video is out there might be a new one, but I mean it shouldn't change the functionality really, at least not in a big way. And then you'll also need to, for Windows, you'll need to install SQLite 3 exe. For other systems probably it'll be called something else, but SQLite 3 is what you need to install. I actually installed this graphical program called DB Browser for SQLite, and it installed SQLite 3 in the command line utility, which is what we're going to be using in all the right places. So once you have that, both the jar and SQLite, SQLite 3, little command line utility, like with all JavaFX kind of applications, we're going to start by creating a project in NetBeans. And we're going to call it to-do app. And then keep in mind that we clicked JavaFX fxml application. To do app, finish, create it. Like last time, it has some code already made for us. It has the package, and then it has the fxml document, the to do app, and then the controller for the document. And once you've installed that jar, the JDBC jar, which I've actually installed already. Let's see, show this. It's right here for me. What you'll need to do is drag it into, well, here, we'll make our own add jar, which is a right click there. We'll go to desktop. There it is. There's our jar, and we'll be using that. This jar will allow us to interact with the database. Anyway, now we've done that. And what we'll need to do now is set up our database for usage. I mean, we could manipulate our database through code, but we want a little more flexibility. I mean, we'll have to run our program every time and have all these things pop up just by interacting with the database. That's kind of not the best way to get around. So the first thing we're going to need to do is open up command prompt, as I already have open. We'll need to navigate to where it is. Here I'm going to go back just to show you guys in case you're unfamiliar with the command line. You'll need to cd to where it is. CD is change directory. If you're not sure where you are, you can type in dir, which I think just stands for directory. I'm not really sure what it stands for, but the point is it'll list everything that's in the folder, I guess. Then you can cd to where you need to go. I'll dir again. I believe this one called NetBeans project cd NetBeans. Okay, and then I won't really explain the star. The star is I won't explain the star. You just look it up, Google it or something. Okay, dir, and then we'll go to cd to do app. Okay, and now we are in the directory that we need to be, and I've actually already gone here. So this is our projects folder, and we need to create a database there. So given that you've installed SQLite 3, either the exe or something to put it on your computer, you can now create a DB, and here's how you do it. You type in SQLite 3, and we have the program pop up, lots of cool stuff, and then we'll create a new DB by doing .open, and then we'll just give a name, something .db. I'll just call it first. Again, not a great naming scheme, but it's just for the tutorial. So there we go. Now the DB is created, as you'll see reflected here. There's like a little file. This file will act as our database, and it's local to our project. And it's a very, very easy thing, really, to set this up. Okay, now the database is empty. We'll need to create tables and maybe populate them a little bit. I've happened to already create some little SQL documents that I will share to do this. First, we're going to make the table. Okay, and here's, I don't know how well you guys know SQL, but SQL is just a language used to communicate with databases and do things like create tables or find things in databases or insert or delete or whatever. Even if you don't know SQL too well, there's a lot of sources online. I'm sure that you can find your way around it. For example, I just found this online. Anyway, I'm going to create a table called users with two fields. There's going to be one called username. That's all uppercase. Again, these are all case sensitive. I mean, I'm not sure if this is here. Let's see. That's not case sensitive. But when we're addressing this field, it needs to be username, all caps. Then it'll be a text field, password will be a text field, username will be our primary key. Our table needs a primary key. I won't explain that really. It's sort of it's essential to databases. It's more suited to a database course to go into why you need that. Not null means these things won't be null off the bat. Okay, so we have this. We have maketable.sql. So we've already created our database, and we're connected to it, and we have our SQL files in here already. Okay, and then we will do a .read, because that's our file, and then what's it called? It's called maketable.sql. So okay, so it executed there. And so now we have this thing, so that's kind of cool. And you might say, oh, let's look at it. Okay, select all from users is the name of it, and then semicolon. Or well, if you don't semicolon, what will happen is this little thing pops up. It means you're not done with the command, which you aren't because you didn't put a semicolon. And nothing's there because we haven't populated users. So how would anything be there? So now we're going to populate users with another similar script. And here is the script. We'll insert into users, username and password are the two fields, the values, username and password. So yeah, right. So now there will be in this table a entry with the username of username, the password of password. Just a special note here. Make sure that in SQL the text fields are a single apostrophe here. It's different than Java, which has the double. So this is the single. So just don't get caught up like that. Pretty much make sure that you're very careful while typing it. And okay, so we have that script already there, I believe. Yes. Okay, and then we'll call read again, make user.sql. There it is. We'll select from user. You can use the up arrow to access things that you've just typed in, and it goes back very far. I mean, right. Anyway, select, well, there's only 3 things, so it doesn't go back that far, but if you put in 100 commands, it would go back pretty far. Anyway, select all from users again, and then here's our entry of username and password. So we have our project set up with the jar for SQL. We have our database set up in the right place. Everything is set up for our to-do app. And in the next entry, this will end this entry, but in the next entry, we will begin creating it. All right, thanks. See you next time.